Where are the seminars? I mean, I graduated.
Yeah. No, so they're in the library. We just started because the teacher lent us all the 80s, and we set it a goal for ourselves to do all the 60s for all 3 schools. So then we just didn't get to the 70s. So, but
Just because a disco ball dropped from the ceiling, that does not include the 70s. Okay. Because I know I have a yearbook from my yearbooks. Managing a whole bunch
yeah, you can just sit down and I'll introduce you and then come up.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Noah Lindstrom, and I had the privilege of working with these 3 fine high school students here tonight. And I'm just going to ask the 3 of them to come up and introduce themselves, and then we'll be reading the document we call our Community Technology Manifesto. And when you hear what they say, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Right now, my name is Nathan Owens, and I go to Urbana High School, and I'm a senior.
My name is Adrian Rush. I attend Champaign Central High School, and I'm a junior.
My name is Daniel Thompson. I attend Centennial High School, and I'm a junior.
And now we will be reading the manifesto. We dedicate ourselves to become difference makers.
An information revolution is underway, leading global transformation in health, education, business, culture, and in the diverse activities of our daily lives.
This revolution cannot and will not bypass any underserved or low-income community. Every person in every neighborhood is impacted and therefore challenged to act.
In our actions, we rely on cyber democracy, collective intelligence, and information freedom.
Cyber democracy means universal access. Every person in every community organization is able to make full use of new technologies.
Collective intelligence means hearing all voices, all of us uploading as well as downloading.
Information freedom means online information is findable, easy to use, and requires no special permission to access.
With these values, we will work together so all our communities and community organizations can communicate, represent themselves online, and use digital technology to create cyber power for social change.
So I'm just going to say just a few words about the summer program, and then the interns are going to also share some reflections on the summer program. So if this sheet should be on your chair, and if it's not, I think we ran out before we got to the back of the room, so we can make sure you get one if it's not on your chair. This is our list of the yearbooks that we digitized this summer. Yeah, do you want to, is anyone missing one? Yeah. So we digitized this summer 46 yearbooks from Champaign-Urbana High Schools. And so we digitized every single yearbook from the 1960s. Champaign Centennial wasn't founded until 1968, which is why we don't have any yearbooks from before that year. But we set ourselves as a goal to digitize the 1960s, and then beyond the 1960s, do some selective digitization in other decades based on what was available and what we could get our hands on in a short amount of time. And I think the interns really did an excellent job. Sometimes they got a little tired on the photocopier going page by page to those yearbooks, but they persevered, and that's what it's all about, is perseverance and keeping going, and knowing that that's what it takes to make a difference. And these students also made a difference in addition to digitizing these yearbooks and working on a video tutorial that other people could use to digitize yearbooks, and we'll say more about that in a little bit when we actually show you the video. The interns also assisted and helped people in the community learn how to use technology at 4 churches throughout Champaign-Urbana, St. Luke's CME, Bethel AME, New Hope Church of God in Christ, and Salem Baptist Church. And the interns assisted about, in total, I think it's about 40 individuals in the community learn different things. Some people needed help just opening up a computer and powering it up. Other people wanted to learn how to use Skype. We did some things with streaming video online for people who had more advanced users. So the interns really, I think, got a sense of how to help people with technology no matter what level they're at. With that, Nathan, do you want to start saying a few reflections about the summer?
Sure. Well, my experience was, when we first started this, I expected that we were going to be doing yearbooks like what the sheet and what he told us at the meetings when we met him. I thought when we talked about digital imaging, it would be something a little bit different with the yearbooks, but I still liked what we did, so it really interests me in the end. And I'm glad we got to go to all the churches, meet the different people, and see how many people are kind of like in divide with digital technology.
The most interesting part of the summer program to me was going out into the field workshop and seeing how diverse experience with technology is in the community, and helping to improve the level of expertise move up in the community.
What I liked the most was when we would go to the churches and help the senior citizens. I don't know what to say because I don't want to say.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. And we would help the senior citizens at different churches, and it just really opened my eyes to because I know how to do the computer, and I didn't know a lot of people didn't really know how to work a computer, and it was I don't know what I would do without a computer. So it was fun though, because I got to meet a lot of people, and then I was open, and then really scared.
Great. Now we're going to give each of our interns a certificate, as well as some of the publications that we've released over the past year and a half. And I'm just going to read the certificate. And it says, certificate for eBlack Champaign-Urbana Spider is awarded to Nathan Owens in recognition of the completion of the eBlack Champaign-Urbana Summer Internship Program. And and second, Adrian Rochelle. And Danielle Thompson. So, and this is the completion of completion of the summer program, but not the completion of the program in general. And I think a message to take away from what the interns just said is that their eyes were open to the fact that there is a need in the community, and it's a responsibility, I think, for all of us to find ways to tap into the energy and the expertise that young people bring, and find ways to make that connection between the energy and the knowledge of young people and the desire to learn more that we see in people of all ages in the community. So I encourage you, if your church wasn't included in the program, or even if your church was included in the program, I encourage you, after this program is over, to come up to these interns and try to talk to them and see if you can't convince them to come to your church and to continue to help people with technology, because that's really what we hope to see come out of this. And that's also, and at a certain level, that's also some of where eBlack Champaign-Urbana as a program is heading. We're kind of making a transition now in our program to do more from us doing all kinds of digitization, to try to do more training people to do what we're doing, so it's not just the university or me or our interns making history available online and sharing the memory of the community, but the community itself sharing its own memories on its own terms. So we're very interested in trying to think about how we could do training or education around what it would take for the community itself to maintain and sustain a project like eBlackCU. And in support of that, we released, and the interns assisted in almost all stages of this manual. We have both, let's get this to load. We have both a print manual here on the website that we're in the process of converting into what we call a wiki. Does everyone know what Wikipedia is? A little bit? Wikipedia is a software, or it's a program or a website. It's a universe for some people that allows you to edit information online. So we're in the process of making a manual that outlines the steps that it took us to make eBlackCU from start to finish, and we're going to be converting this into a wiki so that people can go on into the manual and help correct it, make it better. And our goal ultimately is to see digital community memory projects that take root in different communities, but especially in Champaign-Urbana. And in addition to a print tutorial, the interns also worked with me to put together a video tutorial about the yearbook digitization project. I know as people saw this list here tonight, and as I've talked to people in the community over the last few weeks, everyone tells me, "Where's my yearbook? What about the year I graduated? How come that's not online yet?" What we'd like to see, we could digitize it ourselves, but we'd much rather see people in the community actually digitize their own yearbooks. The technology now is within reach that I think people could really start doing this, and it's not something that has to be scary or intimidating or impossible to do. And this video tutorial that you're about to see outlines the steps. And if you get lost at any point of it, because at a few places it does get a little bit technical, but if you get lost, you can come back to the website and look through the manual at your leisure online, both the print and video, and go over some things that may be a little bit confusing to you the first time you watch it. But I'm just going to start it right now.
To celebrate their past at all types of reunions and civic holidays. Communities also remember their past in day-to-day activities such as paging through scrapbooks, yearbooks, photo albums, and conversing with community elders. Formal activities such as family and school history research and visits to museums, libraries, or archives are also occasions for communities to find out about their past. 21st century digital technology is and will be critical for the future of community memory. An information revolution is underway, leading global transformation in health, education, business, culture, and in the diverse activities of our daily lives. This revolution cannot and will not bypass any underserved or low-income community. Every person in every neighborhood is impacted and therefore challenged to act. One way to act is to help digitize community memory so that when a community goes online, it can find out about itself and its history. This video tutorial focuses on digitizing school yearbooks to enhance community memory. Besides the telephone book or the city directory, the school yearbook is the most important non-governmental document in any community's memory, since it includes within its pages records of most long-term community members. The school yearbook is also a fantastic tool for families researching and sharing family history with digital technology. This video tutorial shows one way to digitize and share online school yearbooks. We encourage viewers of this video to try out the procedures we have outlined in this video and to build upon them. Please note that in addition to this video tutorial, we have also released a print tutorial with exercises on how to do community digitization. Please visit eBlackCU.net to access this tutorial and to get information on topics covered in this video tutorial. At the website, please also give us feedback so we can improve both this video and the print tutorial.
Getting started. A yearbook digitization project does not have to cost a great deal of money, but it will require a fair amount of time invested in the project. This section provides an overview of the types of resources needed to develop and sustain a yearbook digitization project. Before starting the project, it is necessary to take stock of the resources you have available. These resources can be subdivided into financial resources or money, human resources or skilled individuals, community resources or resources embedded in communities such as community goodwill and trust, which could drive volunteerism to support the project, and technical resources or software, hardware, and other technical resources. The balance of these four types of resources will differ from project to project. We recommend prioritizing community resources so that the project becomes a community asset owned by all and contributed to by all. A brief example will show how community resources can help your project. Say you would like to launch a yearbook digitization project but you don't own a scanner. You have two options. A, you can purchase a scanner relying entirely on financial resources, or B, you can search within your community, starting with the people you know and trust, for a site such as a public library or high school that has a scanner you can use for the project at no cost. This is the community resources approach. We recommend, as much as possible, try to rely on community resources so that the yearbook digitization project becomes a community asset owned and contributed to by all. In the eBlackCU project, we received a grant from the University of Illinois Vice Chancellor for public engagement to hire 3 high school students who did much of the digitization. You may be able to secure a small grant from your local government, State Humanities Council, State Library, or other organizations to hire community individuals to help digitize the yearbooks. Alternatively, you may want to put a call out for volunteers, perhaps directed to groups such as the local genealogical or historical society that may have an interest in seeing yearbooks available online.
Before you start digitizing, you need to decide how you will make the digital yearbooks available in the community. What you need to do is develop a digital distribution strategy. This distribution strategy could be as simple as placing the digitized yearbooks on digital discs and making them available at local libraries. The distribution strategy could also involve creating a project website and digital library. This video tutorial presents the digital distribution strategy followed by the eBlackCU project. We decided to purchase both server-based and register URL or online address with a web hosting company called Yearbooks. A web hosting company provides server space that individuals do not need to set up and maintain their own servers to create websites. Although Yearbooks does not have very strong technical support at its lowest rate, it does offer large amounts of web hosting space at very little cost. The cost for maintaining the eBlackCU project online is approximately $170 per year. There are many other options you can choose to get your community's yearbooks online and available in the community. Please consult the print tutorial for more information on these options. After you develop some plans for digital distribution, it is time to start digitizing. To start, you need to find both the yearbooks you want to digitize and the equipment needed to digitize them. There are many places you can go to look for local yearbooks. Often local libraries and school libraries will have yearbooks. You could also consult a local historical society or museum. Finally, don't neglect the many yearbooks that families collect and treasure. Placing a call for yearbooks in your local newspaper or on local electronic mailing lists is a great way to generate participation in the project. When you get the yearbooks, you customized images, add as high resolution flatbed image scanners. In the eBlackCU project, we use a multifunction photocopier available during the summer months on the University of Illinois campus for a digital yearbook project.
Before you start digitizing, it is important to know about the different digital file formats and resolutions available for digitization. The formats and resolutions you choose will affect your ability to make the digital yearbooks available online and to preserve the digital files for long-term access. For digital books, the most common file formats are TIFF, PDF, and JPEG. JPEGs and PDFs are quite common online. TIFFs are rarely found online but are commonly used in digital library creation. TIFF files are image files that are much larger than JPEGs. The reason TIFFs are so big is that they are uncompressed, meaning that no matter how many times you move your TIFF file from hard drive to hard drive, the image quality will not degrade. JPEGs, in contrast, are a lossy file format. This means that as you transfer JPEGs from hard drive to hard drive, they will gradually degrade and lose resolutions as they go through cycles of compression and decompression. Finally, PDF files are a convenient file format to combine multiple TIFFs or JPEGs into a single file so that you can create one large PDF file that contains every page of the entire yearbook. In addition to file formats, there are also different resolutions for scanning. You can scan at 72, 300, 600, 1200, or higher DPI or dots per inch, and at 24, 48, or higher bit color. DPI refers to the resolution at which the scan is created. The higher the DPI, the higher the number of dots that are scanned for every square inch of a document. Bits of color refer to the number of bits used to represent the color of a single pixel. Without going into great technical detail, high DPI scans made with high bit color result in high quality digital images, but also result in quite large digital files. For the eBlackCU project, we scan at 600 DPI, 16-bit grayscale, and uncompressed TIFF files. The main thing to consider at the digitization stage are A, who will do the digitization, and B, what steps can you take to ensure the digitization produces high-quality, complete scans. Regardless of who does the work, you want to develop steps to make sure you are getting good scans. You will want to make a one-page guide sheet outlining digitization procedures to ensure that volunteers are making good scans. In addition, here are a few things to watch out for. A, make sure whoever digitizes the yearbook places the yearbook surface firmly against the scanning bed. If the yearbook is raised, the scanner will produce images with big black spots. B, make sure the yearbook fits on the scanner. In the eBlackCU project, we began digitizing double-page spreads for yearbooks before 1965 because those books are smaller and fit comfortably on the scanner we were using. However, later yearbooks were larger and did not fit on the scanning bed. As such, we began digitizing one page at a time so that we didn't lose any information from the yearbooks. In your project, you will notice other issues that need to be addressed as the project develops. It is important to monitor and fine-tune the procedures as the project develops based on local resources.
Naming and converting files. After the yearbooks are digitized, there's still more work needed to get them ready for access. If you use a multi-function photocopier, each digital file will go directly from the photocopier over the internet to a designated email account as an attachment. The first step in naming and converting files is to download the raw digital files from the email account. Here are a couple things to watch out for in this process. Number 1, verify that your email account is large enough to hold the large amounts of data that will circulate through the account. 2, verify that you downloaded all of the raw digital files. You can do a quick check to confirm that the number of files downloaded equals the number of files in your email account. After you have downloaded the files from your email, you next need to name them. Rather than rename every single file, we recommend placing all raw files from a particular yearbook into a single folder, such as Yearbook 1965. 1963. You should do this step immediately after downloading the files from your email so that you can easily return to these raw files at any point in the future. In addition, you may want to back up the raw files on a digital. Next, you need to combine all the raw files from a particular yearbook together into a single file. To combine all the files together, we use a software called Adobe Acrobat Pro. Unlike most of the other software referenced in this tutorial, Adobe Acrobat Pro is not free. However, you may be able to secure a free copy as a donation from a local technology company, library, university, or school district. Regardless of how you attain Adobe Acrobat Pro, you can use the software to A. Combine multiple TIFF or JPEG files into a single PDF file, B. Insert, delete, and/or rotate pages, C. Run optical character recognition or OCR on a file so that it is a full text searchable, or D. Shrink the PDF file and convert each page of the PDF into a JPEG file for easy online access. After you have combined all the TIFF files into one large PDF, the next step is to confirm that the PDF file actually includes the entire yearbook. With the physical yearbook at your side, go through page by page in the PDF file to verify that no pages are missing and that the scans are complete without missing information. If there are missing pages or missing information in the PDF, you will have to rescan those pages. After you have verified that the PDF file contains a complete digital copy of the yearbook, you can do a few more things to make it easier to access and share. First, you can run OCR. OCR is a tool that scans a series of digital images to automatically recognize text. From this process, the program will create a text file containing all the text in the yearbooks. Although the OCR process is not perfect, it is an easy way to enable searching by name for individuals in the yearbooks. Finally, you can create a low-resolution version of the PDF so that the file will load quicker online. You may also want to split your PDF into smaller sections to make it easier for the PDF to load online. In the eBlackCU project, we split the PDF into sections no larger than 5 megabytes each. In addition to creating a low-resolution PDF, you can also create low-resolution JPEGs for easy online access and sharing. Details on how to do these different tasks can be found in the online print tutorial.
Some of the tutorials based on the particular ways the eBlackCU project has made its digital yearbooks available online. There are many other digital distribution strategies, but we speak on what has worked for us. Please note that to follow the steps described, you need to secure server space and install on the server the free Omega content management system. Since Omega is an open source software, Omega users voluntarily contribute plugins to enhance the functionality of the software. If you have installed Omega on a server, you can upload all the files you want to go on your website using a free HTTP editor such as FileZilla. Using the Omega Dropbox plugin, you can place all the files you want to go into your digital library into a single online directory. After you have uploaded all the files to your server, log into the administrative mode of Omega and add a new item to your digital library for each yearbook. Then add basic information about the yearbook, such as date and title. Next, click on the Files tab at the left side of the screen, and you will see a long list of all the files you uploaded to the server in the previous step. Check the boxes for the files you want to associate with this item. Be aware that after you have added files to the item in Omega, there's no easy way to resort these files without advanced editing at the level of code. When you add yearbook JPEGs to the yearbook item, make sure to upload the pages sequentially. In other words, upload the pages in numerical order so that the pages are not all jumbled together on the website. In addition to uploading the yearbook pages, you can also upload the complete yearbook PDF file. In the eBlackCU project, we uploaded both a large uncompressed PDF file, which made full text searchable, as well as a low-resolution compressed PDF file split into sections no larger than 5 megabytes each. Having these low-resolution PDF files online enables community members to browse the yearbook page by page using the Docs Viewer Omega plugin. Please see the print tutorial and the Omega website for more information to support you through the process of making your digital yearbooks available online.
How to encourage sharing. There's still more you can do to make the digital yearbook project come alive in the community. Some strategies you can pursue include community workshops and distribution via digital disc or social networking sites. Community workshops could highlight some of the ways digital yearbooks could be used, such as for family history and school research. Workshops could also go over how pages from the yearbooks can be downloaded, edited, and sent via email or included in PowerPoint presentations and posters for family reunions or civic events. Workshops could also go over different free software tools that community members can use to do more creative things with the digital yearbook collection. GIMP is a free tool that can be downloaded from the internet. GIMP could be used by community members to edit images from a yearbook to highlight a particular individual or group and then share that image with others. Pages from the yearbooks can also be shared via social networking sites such as Flickr or Facebook, which allows individuals to tag themselves or others in the yearbook pages. Showing people how to use these tools could be the subject of a community workshop. In addition, you can place your digitized yearbook files on digital discs and distribute the disc in the community. This community distribution will help ensure the long-term preservation of your digitization work since the content will be preserved at multiple locations. There are also ways you can encourage participation using the Mecca software. The Intense Debates Comments plugin enables commenting on every item in your digital library. In this way, people can leave memories that may come from the process of seeing local yearbooks online. Finally, strategic use of media and communications can help build a social network around the digital yearbook project. Coverage in local newspapers and on television can help make the community more aware of the project. You could also create an email listserv to send out announcements, updates, and volunteer projects to interested individuals.
The message is your network. So what's the message? The message is work ethic. Almost all communities will have years and years of school yearbooks with tens of thousands of pages. It is unlikely that you alone will be able to comprehensively digitize all the yearbooks in a particular community. A goal at all stages of the project should be to develop something that will have a life beyond the time you invest in it. You may be able to mobilize community groups such as a genealogical society or a local school PTA to take over the project. Perhaps a local school teacher will want to continue the digitization project as part of an annual assignment in local history. Or perhaps a computer educator will want to continue the project as part of a digital literacy course. As your project develops, it is of great importance to think about how it could expand and grow organically as a community-owned resource. This expansion will no doubt require multiple community workshops and many meetings with many individuals. The work will be worth it once you see community members starting to continue, deepen, and sustain what you have started. It is the vision of this project that everyone and everyone's history can be included in digital community memory. We hope that pursuing this vision will motivate you to take on the challenge of starting and contributing to digital memory projects in your community.
So I know that the video may have been a little bit overwhelming for you, but we thought it was important to try to not skimp on some of the technical details because it's a major commitment to do something like this, but we think it is possible. And another thing we wanted to make sure that you see is this little half sheet of paper right here. These are places, on one side is a list of sites, and on the other side is a list of programs. These are places in the community where people can go. I'm not sure, it would have been, I'm sure probably one of these places, one of these sites probably has a photocopier, just like the one we use. It could be used for a project like this. I'm sure Parkland does, Randolph Adult Education probably does as well. But these are the assets, the technical resources in our community that also have human resources and community resources. So these are kind of these are the places to go and look for help. But I also we also think digital community memory doesn't necessarily have to look like eBlackCU. And there's a lot of things that the people could do based on their own needs and their own interests. So I'm just going right now. I asked a few people to say a few things about some things that they're doing. So, Connie, would you mind saying a little bit about how you use digital technology as part of your family reunion to kind of get people thinking about what you could do with in terms of the family and technology?
Yeah.
Whatever you're more comfortable with. If you don't mind coming up, that'd be great.
My name is Connie Dillard Myers, and I'm originally from East St. Louis, Illinois, and I've been here in Champaign-Urbana for a number of years, actually several decades. And this year, my family gathered in East St. Louis, Illinois, for our family reunion. We've sort of been loose with it, but we do it about every 5 years. And this year, I was given the job of coordinating the digital side because my family knows I'm a digital person. I'm into technology. I'm also part of the UC2B. I'm on the technical committee, and I volunteer with, first I call it the community committee that's trying to make everyone aware of becoming fiber optic network, and we're working trying to narrow the digital divide gap that's generated from generation to generation, which I saw firsthand dealing with my family reunion. My family spans, I calculate 5 generations. We did it on my mother's side of the family from my grandfather, because you actually have 4 sides of the family. We used everything. We used phones, smartphones, regular phones, texts, snail mail, email, Facebook, Twitter. We're in the future thinking about doing Skype. We did media with video. We had paper photos. We had digital photos. We had people bring them on UBS drives. People email them. People actually sent them through snail mail. We are also going to develop a listserv, which is partly possible, and the other part we're still going to have to do snail mail because some of my family didn't have email. At the point of the family reunion, I made a video using Windows Media Player, and at that point we burned DVDs and CDs, depending on what the person wanted. We posted the event on Facebook. I found that the younger generation, my nephews and nieces, my great nephews and nieces, they were more into Facebook. And we talked about it, divided up tasks and who was going to do what. And we even had them communicate with their parents and their parents' parents. In the future, we will generate a Facebook page for our family reunions. I also use Microsoft Publisher and PowerPoint to generate a program, and I also printed some out for people. We displayed it using a laptop and what do I want to say? Projector. I brought the laptop, my sister got the projector, so we were all working it together. Other things we did, we negated the fact of hiring a DJ. And what we did is we used iPods and iPod players. I have Bo's iPod player, and you would be surprised. It sounded just like, the big stereo with the tall speakers. And so what we did was I started out with my iPod, and of course I'm like current R&B and old school and old school, the blues. And then my nieces and nephews, they brought their little hip hop, you know, the little rap. We included everybody. And we also shared media. Some of my cousins actually had USB drives, and like I said, we burned CDs and DVDs, those who didn't, and they talked about printing, and I told them we just didn't have no printer. That was too bad. They was going to have to get together on the email too, because printing was killing too many trees. I also encouraged them to find out if there was, you know, the older people who didn't have emails and didn't have a means of scanning or stuff like that, to encourage them to try and locate somewhere in their area, because we came from all over the country: Alabama, Chicago, Ohio, and mostly East St. Louis area. I have a large number of families still there, and then from here. I do have an aunt in South Dakota. So I encourage them to try and at least get an email address, because we want to do it digitally with the listserv. We don't have to put anything in the mail, postage and all that. So, and try and reach out to someone who already has the skill to teach them the skill. So it's almost like, I know one of the mottos at our church was each one, reach one. So that was what I tried to encourage. The other thing we did, we set up a committee to where we're going to try and do it every other year, because a lot of the kids, you know, they didn't know who their cousins were. We just get together in 5 years, and it was kind of random. And like I said, I'm from a large family. My mother was one of 9, and she had 11 children. So my grandfather had like 6 or 7 sisters and siblings, so it just got huge. So what we decided ultimately we wanted to do was do a digital family tree. And we got that online now. You can go online and find the digital family tree and try and work it. Because we have family in New York, Ohio, Chicago, all down south. So that was, and we're still searching for some of our relatives. You know, the one cousin I have that had a lot of information on some of my grandfather's other siblings, because my grandmother had 3 different marriages. So we knew my grandfather's, all of his brothers, but his other brothers, it was sort of like had got lost, since my grandparents have since gone on. So that was about it. It was very interesting. They worked me very hard, but we had a lot of fun. And like I said, we used everything from snail mail to the telephone to the smartphone, all the way up to iPods to play the music. And we switched it up, you know. We added a little hip hop, a little rap. Some of my sisters is kind of upset, you know, because no matter what kind of rap you get, they're gonna put some 4-letter words. And I was like, relax, relax. But that was my experience with setting up the family reunion. So we're gonna move forward and try to keep it all digital and get the older people into digitalization.
I just want to make a couple of remarks on what Ms. Dillard had to say. One is that our young people, they need to be worked hard in terms of, because otherwise they're just going to run wild with the technology. But if we can, as adults, as responsible community members, if we can think of ways that we can take the energy of our young people and direct it towards something positive with the technology, that's what's going to make a difference. So the next time you have a family reunion, pick these guys and gals up and get them doing something positive with the technology. The second thing is, we often think of the digital divide in terms of jobs in the economy, and that's important, but as Connie pointed out, the digital divide is also in our family. It gets really, really real when you're trying to share photos online and 1/4 of your family doesn't even have an email address. I mean, that's when it gets down deep in the community at the level of families. I also I wanted Carletta Donaldson, who you may know, does a community listserv, where she sends out extremely detailed information, I think, about what's going on in the community, and it's a really valuable resource that I'm sure everyone who gets her emails really appreciates what she does. And this is also, I think, a historic moment. So Carletta, do you mind sharing just a little bit about your listserv or community and what you do and why you do it?
Thank you. I'm from Champaign-Urbana. I've been here all of about 10 years of my life. I moved away from different states. But I'm so used to people saying there's nothing to do in Champaign-Urbana. What is there to do here? There's nothing to do. And I'm getting these emails every day, all day, and I'm thinking, look at all this stuff that's going on. I was going to some of it, I possibly could not go to all of it. So what I did is, I believe starting in February of this year, I just started compiling a list. And the easiest way for me at that time was just to say, okay, these are Champaign-Urbana area meetings and events. And I do it by date. So you get something on Monday morning or late Sunday night, and it'll have everything for the next couple of weeks. But then I started thinking, some people plan ahead. My parents are older, and as I get older, it's like, I need to know what's going on in October so that I don't mark, anything, make sure I keep that set. Some things happen every year at the same time. The fourth Sunday in September is the senior style show, so I know that. And so I thought, I'm gonna have to expand it. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I printed it out and looked at it, and I said, this is a mess. I'll kind of pass it around. This is what it looks like now. And I said, sometimes it's kind of confusing, as you look at it, you can look at things at a glance. Talking to Pamela Dempsey, is she with eBlack?
No,
she's with
CU Fitness and Access.
That's it, okay. They're doing computer trainings at see, look at Audra. It's a mess. I mean, that's a mess. When I printed it out, I thought, people are looking at this and probably thinking, what in the world is this? So I talked to her at Salem Baptist Church, and what's gonna happen in September is I'm gonna do it in a newsletter form. So it'll only be 2 pages. You'll see it and you'll be able to click on the flyers, because as you see at the top of that, because I started to attach the flyers, well, there were so many flyers that were attached to, for the events, that was just too much. It was overloading people's emails. I was having problems sending them out and everything. So you'll be able to click on the different flyers if you're interested in that program. It will only go, it's been going out once a week. It will only go out twice a month once I start in September, because I have some other things that I'm moving on to do. But as I just mentioned to Connie, I would like to speak to her because we did the same thing. For years at our family reunion, every year, we got together every year in Tennessee. And there were more and more people, and as I get older, I'm starting to forget, who's that, and these are new people and everything. And then they had this tree, and we only dealt with my dad's mom's side of the family. And it just went around the wall. And I thought, who's gonna take this and copy it so that people can understand? So 5 years ago, I started compiling all the information, and I'm one that says we just need to communicate. Even though we have the email, let's not forget about talking to people. And I listened to Danielle. And when she said that she was glad to have the opportunity to speak to the older people, that's what we want you young people to do. Make sure that you do engage yourself with the older people so that you can hear some of the things and see what they need help on. They'll be more open to you, and then hopefully we can get them all into this email thing. But this summer, I finally got it done. And that's in talking to people. We put digital pictures. And so I would like to send you a copy of our family tree. It was 27 pages long. That's just my dad's side, and then there's more information. I decided I was just going to do it with Donaldson. Somebody else could do it with the other two families. And next year when we get together, we're going to put it all together with the digital. So I would like to speak to you to see, how we can coincide. But as I said, my thing is not just to send it out, because believe it or not, although I know people because I've been here most of my life, I really don't have that many friends, which is okay, because I do have the ultimate friends, that's always good. But it does me no good for people to say, I got your list. My first question to them is, and did you forward it? Because other people want to know what's going on in the community. We want to make sure, and I get this from Herb Burnett, I don't know if most people know Dwayne Burnett, and it's shared knowledge is power, not just knowledge. Don't hold on to it, pass it out. And some people that don't have email, I'll print some copies and make sure I get it to them. And then my goal is to make sure that churches have it, different organizations within the community, so that we can get things together and people will know what's going on. If they're looking to plan things, they can at least look at that and say, well, such and such is going on every year at this time. We need to find another date. So keep communicating with us old people. Please don't forget about us, okay?
Facebook page.
I do. I put it on Facebook. And I have
a dedicated Facebook page.
Now, that's enough. If I could ask a question, how do you get? Because someone had mentioned that I should do a blog. How am I going to get people to go to my blog?
I think Facebook would be better because then you can post every time you get a new thing. Blogs, I look at blogs more of journals.
Yeah.
More of
Okay.
a journalist.
And then Facebook, because they have that share, I have noticed that people are sharing the actual, because I do post it, I scan it and then post it to Facebook, just in case I'm missing some, I know that I'm missing people, but, you know, we just have to share the information.
Now, we're gonna open things up for question and answer to the interns or to Carletta or Connie or anyone in a minute, but I wanted to just point this out. This is a resource that we released last year and it's on the website. This is Carletta pointed out that she was able to get some help from someone from the university, Pamela Dempsey, and I encourage you both young people to communicate with the elders, but also try to communicate with the university. The university is often not as good as it could be about making sure its information gets out into the community and the resources that are available. But this was an effort we did last year to try to include as much documentation as we could about what was going on, what the university was doing in the community in just really a 1 or 2 year time period, and it was kind of overwhelming how many connections go out from the university and the community. Unfortunately, not always coordinated or streamlined, or this is an effort we did, and we don't have the energy to keep releasing publications like this. But I'd encourage you to just